report
Yeah.
also.
Okay.
You've got the log. I have been skipping on the log too, but
That's fine. All righty. Thank you very much. We're back in session now. In the reports, we'll go into the treasurer's report now pardon me?
one moment. We need to address the sexton. I mean, the meeting, the session we just had.
The executive
Oh,
session?
we needed to make,
Yeah, we need to address the executive session. You know, when we're discussing employee issues and no action was taken at this time.
yeah, that's good, yeah. All right, so we did discuss the employee issues and no action will be taken at this time. Thank you very much, LB. Let's move into the packet that you've got here in front of you, into the treasurer's report. And we're going to step through a few things, including the state audit last year. I can do this pretty quick. In my response, did the quarterly report for the city council. Got that out no, they'll get it tomorrow. And a couple of other little things. So let's just look at the December report. Again, this is just a summary of the checkbook with the credit cards, and attached will be the QuickBooks P&L for the month end and end of year balance sheet. So our opening balance of $32,794.24. Debits against that were $31,5811. Credits, donation box was 27, a coin expenditure was 25, and sales of 1430 for total credits of 1482. We're underwater 1676.11 for the month with an ending balance of 31,118.13. So if you'll just flip the page here, and I'll just be brief, we'll just step straight through this. From Ladwig Accounting, you can just see that the accounts had been updated through December of 2024, and they sent me that notification on the 10th of January. That's why kind of was behind us having to move the meetings to this third Monday of the month. So I don't need to run through this. You can see exactly what accounts that are on there. Okay? Flip to the next one, and now here are the printouts, the balance sheet. This will be year end. You want to flip this P&L, which does not mirror the checkbook because there are other things that occur kind of in and out of it. I was kind of surprised to see this Ask My Accountant expenditure on here, and so I'm taking just steps to kind of find out what that is.
What?
This expenditure called Ask My Accountant. Okay.
Who charges that?
Well, that's what I'm finding out. I think it originated in the office. It's probably an inquiry I'm guessing it's unsupported software, but I just wanted to point that out on here. Okay. Do you want to keep flipping? Are we okay? Yeah, let's just keep moving. The quarterly report, all this is, and what the city council requires of us, are receipts and disbursements. Okay, so this is the running total of the last quarter, and you can see how the year really played out right there. That final year to date, 13,183.79. Few pennies were added to that trust account. A little bit into the CD 595. As you can tell, the other ones are monies, the interest are credited back into that checking account. And that 254.79 there probably ought to, be moved into checking so we can have that CD balance like the rest of them even. What do you all think about that? We don't need to vote on it or anything. But LB, lean in.
Well, when we get to I think some of this can be covered when we get to the budget.
Okay, yeah, that's good. Yeah, we got spot back here. Okay. And the same would go with that money market account, the interest, the 125.23. Let's turn, and let's talk about the state audit for a minute. We had 5 issues. They're not necessarily infractions or whatever, but things that had not been going well, and that would have been in the 2023 audit. And so I'll hit 1 through 5 in a light. The bank reconciliations were not prepared as required by the code. Okay? Income, number 2, overstated by 44,000. Expense by 65,000. Double coding multiple revenues and expenses to the David Danvers account. I think you all remember that. That was that. We're going to address that in a few minutes. Number 3, the David Danvers liability account contained a negative balance beginning at $29,000. Number 4, deposit slips did not include the receipt range. Additionally, cash and check composition could not be tested due to not being included on the receipts tested. And number 5, pre-numbered checks were not issued for all disbursements. They noted that the water and sewer payment specifically, it was a debit. So let's look over here to the reply in December. And this is Mr. Lance Woodworth, who we've dealt with before, and I deal with Patrick, the auditors that come in here. And so if you look here, beginning of that calendar year, we begin using QuickBooks, which the auditor that came out, Patrick, was well aware of this when he was out in April. And we were just starting to get things going. As of August, all monthly reconciliations in accounting were completed, included August 2024, including the year-to-date reporting. The December Cemetery Commissioners meeting marked the first month in which we used the November monthly and year-to-date balance sheets and income statements generated from QuickBooks. That's last month. Okay. Having said that, all monthly bank reconciliations are current and will remain in compliance with municipal accounting laws. Because I spoke to Patrick when we were out there, and he looked and so noted that everything that QuickBooks provides that's connected with the checkbooks complies with Arkansas law. And what happened, Glenna had been doing bank reconciliations, and I don't know why or how that dropped off for 2023, because she actually had done these through the few months of 2024. So it kind of caught me off guard. But he accepted, I told him that, he accepted it, I put it in writing.
Well, he'll be giving a report to the city council, won't he?
I'm going to be giving the report.
Well, won't the accountant also report to the city council anything that's
Yeah,
an error?
yeah.
And
Yeah,
then
it's
we'll
all
have to,
right here.
we'll have to respond?
Yeah, it's all in the back of this. Do what?
We'll have to
Yeah,
respond?
then I'll respond. So I will stand in front of city council with every one of these, okay? So let's move to the David Danvers $30,000 thing. So we never used QuickBooks for 2023 accounting records. When Patrick came in, as said here, Hannah had input the check payments, expenses, bank deposits, and all. We were real proud about getting this off the ground. Well, we actually asked him. We said, hey, I said, yeah, what do you think about this $29,000 ding right here? Hey, Breed, it's exactly like that. It's so funny, I can't stand it. So he goes, I don't know. I said, can you take a look at that? Because we were in process of interviewing CPAs.
Excuse me.
I know, it's hilarious. And so he just laughed. And well, it says, I asked to take a look at it. And, so we never purported to anybody that 2023 was anywhere accurate at all in QuickBooks for that calendar year. We're just focused on this.
Okay.
Having said that,
Have you paid it back yet?
pardon me?
Have you paid it back yet?
I promise, city of Eureka Springs, I'm going to do it.
I want to know how Aruba was.
Don't audit my checking account. When they see this, I'm going to get an audit that fast. No, it's no big deal. So having said that, all 2023 quarterly accounting reports were submitted to the city as required, which is the one I just showed you. Copies of all credit card bills showing balances due and their corresponding payments were provided, with the monthly paperwork in your possession, in the state's possession. Ladwick Accounting has reconciled all accounts and transactions beginning January 2024 as mentioned in the LOM above. And so they had all the records, every credit card record, everything that they have. And Patrick had printed these two reports out, which, let's go to the next one. So, I addressed both of them right there. So that was kind of a strange thing. And that's what, when we went over this before the reply, he says they see stuff like this all the time. Number 5, beginning with the first deposit after our meeting with Patrick, all receipt numbers for funds being deposited are written on the corresponding deposit slips. So you know the deposit book, every time we make a deposit, we write that in there. They've never requested before to take that number and actually write it on the deposit receipt that we get from the bank. So I'm just, at the time of deposit. So that ties it in there. So I just simply said, starting from then, it began, and I've been doing it ever since. So then the last one, even without the notification earlier in 2024, I already stopped the automatic payments to the water, sewer, Carroll Electric. And they were calling us out on that from the year before, and I've already corrected it. So anyway, that's where we stand on that. And I wanted this as a matter of record, because I wanted y'all to be able to laugh at me. Any questions on any of these? Okay. Now flip to the last one, and then this actually was December the 16th, and these are the instructions for entering the budget, into our QuickBooks Online. Originally, they said, if you remember last month, they said we would have to upgrade our QuickBooks. Remember that? And I thought, oh, Lord, and I looked in it, we don't have basic. We already have the version. So he came back, and there was an email that said, oh, hey, I'm sorry. Yeah, look, here's what you do. So this is something that I've working again with Hannah on getting this done. And so the last item, well, actually, we're going to be talking about that in a few minutes, the budget and accounting. So that is the treasurer's report. Okay. Special events, shall we go wait a few minutes and we'll get into the iconography tour down here on new things. So I don't think we have anything. Unless, yeah. On new business down there, I have the parking lot available. Is that a special event, LB?
Sir?
We'll just talk about it down there on new business. Okay. So let's move on into unfinished business, and we'll start with Matt and the sign project.
Okay, so the signs are going well at this point. We had one issue with the guy that was supposed to supply the cedar. They got with another company who has supplied the cedar now. So he has all of them. He is in the process of preparing them. He said it's a little bit slow going because there's so many of them and fitting them into his shop, and the temperature is supposed to be above 50 degrees for the oil that they put on them, but he is working on it. Last I talked to him last week, he said in about 4 weeks, he should have them all prepared. Basically, the tops of them all chamfered like they're supposed to be, sealed with the oil and ready to go. So we probably need to get a hold of Kelly Monument. I don't know how much lead time they need since they're going to be setting them. But what will happen is, once he has them done in approximately 4 weeks, he can deliver them to the cemetery. Kelly Monument will set them, and once the concrete is hardened and they're set, he'll come out and attach the signage to all of them.
Yeah, I was concerned about if you put the signs on there before they were set, how they would be transported without maybe scuffing them up. Or
Now, he's gonna actually come out and install the signage right there
And that's all
after they're
included
set.
in their cost.
Thing's really bad.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
awesome.
Just a second, it's long.
We talk about the budget thing. We had this approved for this to be taking place this year. And since it's
2024, you mean? Yeah.
last year,
Yeah,
and it hasn't been done, so we need to reflect that into the budget.
yeah.
The budget for 2025 did not show a cemetery project, signs, expenditure.
Make that note
So we just have to move it
of
to
the
the
budget.
following year.
No, yeah.
Budget adjustment.
Well, that sounds good.
Yeah,
Yeah, so it's moving right along. If you want to send me the phone number to Kelly Monument, I'll reach out to them. And, you know, I don't know if they need 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks of lead time.
But one thing about the installation, I think they were going to charge us $40 a
$40 per post.
post. If we're going to put Flex Seal on the bottom 2 feet, then we may just ask them to do that.
Okay?
And so I think we need I don't know how much it's going to cost in addition to.
Well, ideally, and I don't know much about Flex Seal, but I know it comes in a spray bottle, but if you could get like a 5-gallon bucket
You
of it.
can.
You can?
And you can-
So what would be nice is just take the posts, right, mark them at the 2-foot mark, dip them in there.
Well, are we going to have them where they're setting 4 feet out of the ground?
Yes. They're 6-foot posts, 2 feet in the
What
ground.
happens if they can't go 2 feet in the ground? We're going to have to cut them off.
Okay?
And that is a possibility.
yeah. So they're all 4 feet high throughout the cemetery.
Right.
Yeah.
So the plan is, the posts are 6 feet, the plan is to put
Yeah.
2 feet in the ground. If something happens where they can't, I guess we can just take a circular saw and
Yeah.
cut off.
Yeah, I just visit with Kelly Monument about all that. The fact that we'd like some Flex Seal put on the bottom, that we want a metal,
Well, that weed eater protection type of stuff.
yeah, a piece of metal maybe 4 inches thick or 3 inches
So,
thick.
so I thought about that
On the
too.
ground.
Yeah, if you could get like some 4-inch flashing, right?
Yeah.
I was figuring this out, and I'm just figuring a little bit of overage. I figure you'll need about 2 feet of it per sign when you go around,
Have to overlap it a little bit.
right, to overlap. So 2 feet a sign, if you're doing 70 of them, that's 140 feet. So we probably need to get a roll of it that's at least 140 feet. I haven't gone to Home Depot or Lowe's to look. I'm sure they have something like in the roofing section that would,
It's not that expensive. You want to get something that's not going to stain.
yeah, just something that's like thin aluminum.
Aluminum. Yeah.
So they would like measure 4 feet down and get it in that spot?
Well, that's what I figure, right?
Depends
If-
on how they cut.
Yeah, if you mark 2 feet, right, here's your post.
Give them a
Okay,
good guide.
2 feet up, boom, there's your line.
That's a good guide.
And then you just, if your line is right there,
Yeah.
then you just put the flashing half above, half below.
It wouldn't hurt if it was 26 inches to where the flashing would cover some, because that way it would be above the ground
Yeah.
level.
Yeah,
little
that's
bit.
why I figured, you just put it right about the middle of that line, wrap it around there and put, 2 little screws in it or something.
I like it.
Well, when it gets down to like, I'll get you that number, but a couple of weeks away, then,
Yeah,
So
we may not get them until April. March.
Yeah, that's what I
Kelly
was just
Monument, you
thinking.
mean?
No,
Maybe the post.
No, you're going to have them before that.
really?
Yeah, like he told me, I asked him, he said, how quick? He goes, because I might need a little bit. I said, look, if we say 4 or 5 weeks, is that okay? And he said, yeah. And that was when I talked to him last week.
Will he need some money up, once he delivers them, a portion of the payment?
He has not asked for it at this point.
Seems reasonable that he would want that.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
We
Fine.
can provide that probably.
That's fine.
So we may have a few in ground by the end of March, maybe.
You know, really, it will come down to Kelly Monument, but I don't see any reason that before it gets spring that this can't be done.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Well, I was thinking too, like, that road that goes back in the back where they dump, if we could get one that says no admittance, another post back there.
We've got some extras. So he got enough for 70 posts, and he said he's only come across what he feels like is one bad post so far. He said it's nice looking wood.
Oh, good.
Okay, good. Thank you, Matt.
Thank you very much. Any questions for Matt?
Okay.
Any questions? Okay, let's move right along.
There's
I
a
can-
question, David.
I was just looking up on, you were interested in flashing, and they do, set loads, they have like 50 foot by 20 inches for like $70.
Okay, so it's not
Well,
very much.
That's 20 inches. You don't.
Yeah, 20
Cut
inches
it-
would
you're
be
gonna
too
have to
much.
cut it
They
down.
have different sizes, but that's the longest one I found just at First Glance.
Gotcha. So 50 feet, 3 rolls of it
Yeah.
is all we would need. Yeah.
For the record, we just had some very nice input from the peanut gallery crowd tonight. Thank you for that. Appreciate that. Good. Okay, iconography tour. Rita.
So we had our first meeting at the beginning of January, and 3 volunteers showed up. I understand now from Annunziata, 7 people from the community are interested in volunteering to be guides. I am meeting with the script writer this coming weekend. We are having another meeting of the tour group on Monday, next Monday. We're going to try and meet twice a month. We did decide that we would start the tour in May and run it every Saturday. I think we decided did we decide 11 o'clock in the morning? Something like that, I think. And we're going to run it through the summer, May, June, and July. That's all I have so far.
Yeah, excellent. Yeah, and it was a great meeting.
Yeah,
We had
yeah.
workshop,
I'm
had a
very
great
en-
workshop. Yeah.
I'm very encouraged. There's a lot of interest and enthusiasm for this. So I think it'll be good.
Yeah.
Yeah, feel good about it.
Have there been any decisions made about advertising, getting the word out about it? And if so, what sources are being planned to use?
Oh, okay, so Mr. Danvers is in charge of marketing and promotion, if you recall, and he will have that information for you.
Feel free to join us next week.
So you decided to move it up to May.
Didn't we decide May?
Yeah, May, June, and July.
Yeah, May,
I
June,
thought it
and
was
July.
June, July, and August, the 3 busiest tourist months.
No.
I thought we had decided on May, but if we're going to do June, July, and August,
Yeah.
that's fine.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, the thing about it is, it's like we've got 2 things going on here that I'm sure y'all are aware of. We have some great volunteers that are
We do.
interested in that. And in the past, we've been trying to look for a group that would help us with a fundraiser. If this works like it should, and like I hope it does, this can be the only fundraiser the cemetery does. So in essence, we've got a group that's already in place of volunteers to help bring in funds to the cemetery.
Right.
And we have this iconography tour as our fundraiser. So therefore, we don't have to look at other things. This could be really beneficial to the cemetery.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
That's my hope.
Any comments? We're open for any. Yes.
We had talked about that the tour was going to be May, June, and July. May, June,
Yeah,
July.
yeah, May,
When we set.
Yeah.
Not August,
yeah,
May,
yeah. yeah, we kind of went in depth about that. Thank you. LB, I mean, we stand corrected.
Oh,
Thanks for the clarification.
So maybe in
Thank you for
August. So maybe in August.
Well, you know, we're flexible. We're flexible. LB, if it'll keep you coming to the meetings, maybe August. Now, let's move into, see, y'all, we have fun here. We work hard, though. Come be part of the cemetery commission. Okay. LB, let's move into the budget. You had a couple of points to make. More than a few.
Do you all have your budget with you that we came up with? Did you
No,
bring it to the meeting?
I don't have
No.
it with me.
Not that handout.
Okay. We showed on the initial budget that we were going to have a 2024 balance forward of $1,000. And all of a sudden, we seem to have more funds than that. In the original budget that we came up with, we didn't have, the sign project had already been taken out of our funds and so forth. So we thought, well, if we can we'll have at least that much to be carried forward. But we have 31,158.11 to be carried forward. So I don't know.
That's in the bank. We've got to still pay for everything out of those funds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The sign project is going to take a fair amount of that.
Well, okay. I don't know why I'm doing this, and I don't mean to step on anyone's toes, okay?
Go for it.
All right. If we put a line item in, revise our budget, put a line item in there for the signs of 12,500. 12,500.
Okay?
Okay. We have a budget buffer. The budget buffer concept is we need to have in our checkbook enough funds to get through a quarter, or to get through a quarter. So that would be a monthly budget of X number of dollars times 3. If we were to, I have up here 2025 projects, cemetery signs, 12,500. We need a truck.
We do need a truck.
With, say we get 31,000, just keep that in mind. Less 1,000 makes it what? I mean, less 10,000 makes it 21,000. Less the 12,500, we're still around 8,000, right? Okay. We have trees to consider. We have a bunch of trees that's got to be taken care of, and our line item for trees is 10 grand. If we were to increase our tree budget, if we add the 12,500 plus sign/truck project of 25, then our balance comes out where it doesn't look like we're flush,
Yeah,
because we're not.
yeah.
So, I mean,
We'll make
would the
that.
treasurer be the one to reconstruct our budget and
Yeah, I
present it?
think so, yeah. And what we can do then is pull the 12,500 out, create that.
You also got 10,125 in money market.
Yeah,
We could make our budget balance and also look at buying another CD or placing more money in that money market account to draw more interest. So there's just some of the things to think about. I'm not trying to,
no, I really like the idea of transferring some of these funds right into that money market account. We can move that in and out, and it's a small percent, but it's
did
better
the
than
did the
nothing.
city council approve the budget we had for last year?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have we ever received payment from
No. Voices?
Voices?
Yeah, no. I was kind of surprised.
Well, who-
I spoke
who do
to
you con-
Voices.
haven't.
Who do you contact about that?
Well, it's Mr. Panis, Jeff, and he called me, and they just did the voting on it at their last meeting about, what, their end of year basic meeting. So they didn't vote on it like November, like they did a year ago, where we were paid the $1,500 by the first week in December. Yeah, and I actually expected to see it when I was collecting the mail the other day. I can follow up with him. I have a couple of other things to
Well,
talk to him about.
and on all this stuff, and I don't, gosh, you all do so much, it's unreal. But I think that we need to just take a look at what we're doing from a budget and accounting situation, to where we make sure we don't implement anything on the commission that folks to follow us are going to have a difficulty with.
Yeah,
If there's some way that we could cut down, is there some way we could have an in-house accounting system that shows what we need to show and get the reports we need to get?
well, that's our QuickBooks. That's
Well,
what
but
the
we're-
balance
we're-
of this,
we're also
these
paying
instructions are.
We're also paying an
Trying to come up.
accountant to do this.
Yeah.
So, because you don't know who's going to be on the commission next, you know what I mean? We don't need to make it more difficult for
Yeah.
folks.
Yeah. Yep.
Right now, you're the guru on finances.
We're going to talk about all that here. We got all this coming up. But you're right.
Thank you.
Yeah. Hey, thank you, LB. Any comments? Okay.
No action to be taken except that you all look at that.
Yeah. So the
next-
suggestion,
oh.
we're going to go back and do a recap of this for these meeting minutes, but you got the essence of
Well, I would like to make a motion if it's possible.
Well, I wrote down
I'd like to make a motion that we revise our 2025 budget and have it prepared for the next meeting so we can vote on it, or even change it then if we need to, so we can get that submitted to the city council.
Okay, and in those revisions, that's as a motion, which would include establishing a sign line item.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we're going to,
Maybe establish a cemetery
Transfer,
project
move.
item, which would be signs and truck.
yeah, projects donated to the truck and moving funds out of the checkbook into the money market account.
And
Okay, that's a good
and
motion.
also possibly increasing the TRIA funds.
I'll second your motion, Elby.
All right, thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, unanimous. Thank you.
Okay.
Now the Native Plants by Master Gardeners project.
Okay, let me just say that that's probably mistitled. Let's just call it native plants at this point.
Okay,
I have contacted a person who is a native plant expert. Her name is Mary Ellen Griffiths. She's here in the community. She has agreed to work with us. She would like to pull Sharon Roberts in, who is also a local native plant expert. What I would like to do is meet with them at the cemetery and do a walkabout, so I need your permission for that, and see what kind of suggestions they might have for us before we take this any further.
Well, I have a
I love
comment
it.
about that, if I may. I have a comment, if I may. You know, we spent last year about $600 on plants.
I know you did.
Very few of them survived. We have some artificial plants up around the sign by the road. What about something like that?
Artificial is artificial, so what I want people to understand about native plants are that they are the plants that grow here naturally, that the environment produces, that the insects and the birds recognize here. They have a much better probability and chance of thriving than something you would buy from a big box store or from Walmart. So once we got something like purple coneflower established, it would take care of itself.
We could
But
have-
that's my 2 cents. I can go either way, because
but I think where you're headed is that something similar to the iconography tour for these people that, horticulturists and people that would love to come out and take a tour and see the different areas in the cemetery that may feature these things.
It could be. There is also a woman who lives not too far from here who has a greenhouse. All she grows is native plants, and she loves to donate to beginning gardens. So if what Mary Ellen Griffiths and Sharon Roberts put together is met with commissioners' approval, we could pursue getting plant donations for the cemetery for maybe a couple areas to begin to establish some
I
gardens.
love this idea because you've got semi-sun areas and sunny
Sure.
areas and real
Sure.
shady, and you and your friends will know exactly what would,
That's what
do
I was
well.
going to say. I'm not a plant expert, but, you know, if somebody that is says, no, there's a high probability we can plant this here and plant
Sure.
that there, and that it's going to
I love it.
thrive.
I love
I
it.
like the idea of that better than artificial.
Well, some of that artificial, I think maybe you were talking about out front, maybe.
Are these individuals that are interested in helping us, are they going to be out there to water them and
Oh, I
trim
don't,
'em and cut 'em and-
I haven't gotten that far, LB. Let's, one step at a time. If you'd want me
Well-
to pursue this, I can. and
Oh, yeah, of
we'll-
course.
Okay.
Just, wherever we have around the sign, we have both sides of the gate, we have over by the flagpole, and we have in front of the office right now are the only areas that we're trying to provide shrubbery and plants for.
And my thing is, if they know native plants, right? I mean, there's no one
Yes.
out there watering
Right.
these things in the wild, so.
Yeah.
Right.
I love it. We've got
So hopefully-
gaps in the
hopefully-
roads where they come and go, or, we could.
Okay,
create-
so I've got near the sign, both sides of the gate, the flagpole and the office.
In going out through there in the car where some of the roads bend this way, there's certain neat V's that would be open, and you'll see them. You'll see
Okay,
the spot.
okay, all right. I'll arrange a meeting for them then if I have the blessing.
I wouldn't mind tagging along.
Oh, okay, all right, great, sure, absolutely.
Yeah, here's where I don't know anything about plants, but the one thing I do know, just walking around the cemetery out there, I see these yucca plants out there and I can't stand them. They're like invasive, they spread on their own. They get so big that they will uproot
bamboo.
stones and curbing and everything else.
Well, I will arrange when the weather is a bit nicer for us to meet with them, and I will let you all know, whoever would like to join us, then I'll try and do this on a weekend day.
Sure,
You're
yeah.
nice.
You,
Okay.
you can just text us in the group
Okay,
and.
all right.
And who wants to show up to meet you and your friends.
When's the next meeting for the iconography?
On Monday,
This coming
this
Monday?
coming Monday, the 27th. we
At the
said.
office?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, what time did we set, dear?
We said 1 o'clock.
At one, oh, that's right, yeah, yeah. Do we have any comments? Would you like to stand up and speak out loud? Come this way?
Come
and,
on, David, you're killing
I
me.
was gonna say kind of what he said, and the whole purpose of native plants is that they don't require someone to stand out there and water because they grow naturally in this area. So that's a great idea. And no one's gonna need to water them, and you were right, that's what native plants are about. So I think
Thanks.
it's great.
That's great.
So we want to discuss August. No.
There'll be more to plant on this.
So the comment was basically in support of Matt's point in that native plants and things that would grow may not need as much just
Attention.
hands-on maintenance. Yeah, watering and tending. Thank you. May we see your driver's license, phone number? and- Okay, very good.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right.
Yep.
Yeah, okay. We'll move into new business now. Let's drop down to number 2 first, if that's okay. We'll knock that one out. I got a call from the bank the other day, and if
And I
we-
have an addition to that too, David, if
Yes,
I
I'm
can.
sorry.
No,
Sure.
I'm sorry. There's
No.
a speaking engagement on the 9th the UU Church.
Yeah, tell us
So,
about it. Okay.
well, the UU Church would like me to come and speak about the cemetery, about
Yeah.
green burial, about the tour we're trying to put together. They'd like that to happen on March 9th. I'm happy to do that, but I need
Okay.
the blessing of the group to,
Yeah, we need, let's take notes up in under special events. Is that okay with you all up here?
Who's asking for that?
the Unitarian Church,
Okay.
Yeah.
Unitarian?
the Unitarian Church
Yeah.
on Elk Street.
I can give you that PowerPoint. Didn't I already do it, or probably didn't I? Which has a lot of good factual things.
Oh, okay.
I put it together for when I went to the Rotary.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, so it's
Okay.
got stuff in it for you.
Well, I
Okay.
make a motion that we send our representatives to provide information to this Unitarian Church on what day?
March 9th,
That's
What
the
time?
same Sunday as
Sunday. I'm not sure of the time, but I think maybe it's 10 o'clock, 10 or 11.
Really?
11, it's 11.
it's at 11 o'clock.
And it's this month,
March,
March.
March.
March 9th.
I really like that. We need to weigh that against this parking lot being available for us because,
So what is this where it says parking lot available Sunday, March 9th?
okay, what the bank
Collecting money.
allows us to have that, and then we collect the funds. And
Oh, okay, I know.
You know what it is.
Now I know what you're talking about, okay.
May I suggest that we, point of order, that we stay on task with regards to this motion that's on the table
Oh, thank you.
to send representatives to the Unitarian Church on March 9th.
yeah, okay, we have a motion. Do I have that seconded?
Second.
Okay, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
It's unanimous. Thank you. Yeah. Okay. So we'll put that up as part of a special event, and now we'll just move that into just unfinished business. So the parking lot, then, let's throw that open. She called me Thursday, and I said, great, we're going to meet Monday, we'll talk about it.
If, at this time, I think we have our hands full with the ethnography tour, that we need to focus as much effort as we possibly can to get that up and going. That's our source, that's our revenue, that's our new fundraising project. So I'm inclined, that, we're gonna make around 350, 380 maybe, if
Yeah.
we're lucky,
At the parking lot.
for the summer for our parking lot. We should do much better than that with the iconography tour. So, I just think we have so much to do with that iconography tour. If we got hours to spend someplace, we need to spend it on that.
And in support then of the efforts at the Unitarian Church that day, I think that's what we should do, is just, do we need a motion for this?
I move that
I'll
we,
just call her. Wanna vote?
certainly thank the bank for the opportunity to have a day in it, but at this time, until between now and
Yeah, well,
end of April,
yeah, it's like all in favor of
we don't
doing-
have time for it.
Yeah. So let me have a motion that says we will not,
I'll make a motion that we pass on the parking lot opportunity.
okay, can I get a second?
Second?
All right, all in favor of that, passing on it, unanimous?
Well,
All right.
this is going to be good.
Now, so new business, it's the first of the year and it's time to elect officers. The officers, what?
On that topic,
Yes.
because of how fluid our commission is to a certain extent, what I mean by that is it's so good to see Ratha back from her surgery.
Yes.
But at one point in time, we have a situation where we have some members possibly not fulfilling this year. And because of the lack of identification with treasurer and secretary and so on and so forth, we're managing okay now. But my suggestion would be for us to postpone our election of officers until, say, the 1st of June, and just retain everyone in the positions that they are in, with the addition that we make we have a project manager or special events or fundraising manager.
Yeah.
We add someone to that area to take care of new projects as well.
Yeah, well, let's comment on that because I'm moving out of Eureka Springs.
You are.
I am moving. So
Where are you going?
I'm going about 5 miles north of Beavertown.
That doesn't affect the commission.
Yeah, it does me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so
But that'll be in a couple of months, and I was going to say that with all of this accounting and things to be done, and this hand-holding, I really want to get, you've got copies of a couple of these emails in your packets about what needs to be done, and I'll work with the office manager, it's good. I'm going to work on that action item for the budget for next month. And I'm not just going to go, done, because I have to back out of the credit cards and back out of this and all. And then I'll be here, but I'm not, I'm going to.
what's your response to that, Rathan?
I'm not going to be able to do it.
Are you planning on staying on the commission?
At this point, I don't really know.
You don't want?
I don't really know. My husband is facing multiple surgeries.
Do what now?
Don's got some issues that,
I'm
yeah.
sorry to hear that. No.
Yeah, so there's no pressure, it's not like I'm hauling, but I'm going to just back out. I'm still going to do the marketing for you.
I'm leaving. May will be my last meeting because I am moving
Yeah.
to Ames, Iowa. So-
That's all right, we've got 2 replacements back here, so it's no big deal. Anyway, so we can't, LB, to your point, yeah, let's postpone this and just work it into a schedule a few months from now. And I'll continue to, Hannah is typing the meeting minutes. I've got these going over to Ida. I'm just wordsmithing the agendas and.
Well, let me ask you this, because I don't know that much about it. I could come up with a bookkeeping system with a big chief notebook and a pencil, but I can't come up with one off the computer. No, I'm serious.
No,
It's just a matter of common sense and a little reasoning behind it.
LB,
But
it's
I
getting,
have
it's
no
getting
know-
way off
No,
topic.
no, I have no information about the system that you have in place or that we have in place. That's what my concern is. Because if you're leaving, we've got to make sure someone is going to be our treasurer.
Well, it's,
Can we, you have this accounting system, right, in our company right now. Can we provide information, invoices,
yes,
deposits and so forth?
Yeah.
And let them do it completely?
no.
No.
Our office administrator can make deposits. The system picks it up. There's just those little mechanics, like they pointed out now, where I have to add a couple of numbers to it. That P&L, that monthly P&L, really, my treasurer's report doesn't even need to exist. I just kind of have that out there because it's easy just to pull that right out of the checkbook. But there are interest payments and things that go into the P&L every month that I'm not doing that. But the bank reconciliations every month are acceptable to the state right out of QuickBooks. So in that quarterly report, I'll talk to the mayor, because they'll probably go, oh, yeah, no, we'll just take the quarterly report right out of QuickBooks. And that's the big generator.
Well, how long, David, do you think it'll take to get all this organized to where you can,
Okay, one of the other emails that was not shown here, they kept asking me for 6 weeks about a petty cash. And I replied back and said, we do not have petty cash. And so just the middle of last week, Karen over at Ladwig said, okay, David, here, let me explain what we mean by it. And I went, oh, now I get it. So anytime we make specific, write specific checks or cash goes out, that's kind of the term they use. I thought petty cash was like $100 and change in a drawer that we did stamps out of or something. But no, she wanted these accounts broken down, and she gave me the list of them on an Excel spreadsheet, which I forwarded to Hannah this past week and said, this next week, let's get together and talk about these 6 or 8 accounts. You know, and so, I mean, we're narrowing down all these little loose ends now, because these books are right. The books are right. The checkbook's not. I mean, the checkbook isn't. It's just a ledger, you know, is how we're using it on what's deposited and what goes out, which corresponds to the quarterly report that the city always wanted from us to begin with. Yeah.
so by March meeting?
Sure. Oh, yeah. And I've asked Mike for a meeting at the office a couple of times. So to get this done, yeah, I'll make that point. Has to happen. I don't have an option. We don't have an option.
What's that?
So where are we? Where are we then on this? Where are we then on this topic of election of officers?
I would entertain a motion saying that we just postpone this for a few months.
Well, I think we need to. I mean, Britta's
to your
leaving
point,
in May, and
Yeah.
you're not sure, so
We can start recruiting replacements and, you know, this type thing.
Well, would a couple of months take care of our accounting system?
Yeah, I'll make sure it does.
So by March meeting, maybe?
Yeah, at the end of March, we'll have the February results, and I can say to the CPA then that really in February, which would be the March meeting, looking back on February, that we want all this done. That's how.
Or do we need an additional month? Where we
No,
also include a
well-
quarterly report?
Well, no, I can put it on him. Yeah, and if it goes another month, that's fine.
So you're definitely leaving this year at some point.
Yeah.
And so is Rita. And hopefully, possibly Rachel.
Hey, it's easy. These jobs are easy, y'all.
Sorry about Dawn.
Yeah. But it's a new year. It's a fresh time.
I make a motion that we delay election of officers until the March meeting.
Did I get a second on that?
A second.
All right, all in favor? All right. Thank you, LB. That's good. I think we're getting close to wrapping it up here. The loose ends, of course, we're talking about the truck. I think we probably addressed that anyway, meaning we need a truck. It'd be nice to have it donated. And
Well, I know someone who sells used vehicles. Of course, Matt's in the vehicle business too. I know someone who might have one of their sellers, their buyers, transfer one to us at wholesale.
that'd be nice.
Whether they get it from an auction or a dealership or an individual. I think we can get one at wholesale.
yeah, and I have that ability with work also. It just depends on what we want to do.
We talked about putting an ad in the paper, cemetery, needs a nice, new, clean vehicle.
You know that sign
Truck.
that's out there at the entrance where with the thermometer?
Oh, yeah.
We filled that up, and was supposed to be a thank you put across there, as though we have to recognize the donations we received for the sign project. We need to have that sign changed and look at establishing at some point in time what our next project is for next year.
Yeah.
Not this year, but next year, where you're at the roads. The roads are a big issue.
Definitely.
The truck is an issue. The workshop improvement would be issues. But if we can focus all of our efforts this year to trying to obtain as many funds as we can for the road. But we could put a project sign up out there, whatever you all want, and get it going again, have it changed. We're looking at about 40 grand on those roads. Anyway, are we done?
Any commemorative coins still available? Do we need to do a summary right now of this meeting? Are you good with those notes so Hannah can pull through them? And
I mean, she can read them. There may be something you want to add to it, but,
yeah, I'm just going to hand them to her and,
okay.
yeah. Are you good with that?
Yep.
I will, yeah, okay, then the last note, yeah, well, I'll get back with y'all for the
David?
agenda, yes.
Oh, I just had a question about turning down the parking lot thing. I know because you have another event that day, but maybe they can postpone it or pick another day so that you're not turning down money for plants or signs or roads.
Yeah, that's a great suggestion. We've talked to them before, and they had this huge calendar, and it's already just filled up. And this was a cancellation. Yeah, she called it. Yeah, so, when I call her, I'll ask, well, when was our regular date?
Yeah,
Yeah,
there might be another.
yeah,
cancellation.
thank you.
Or could we offer it out there to switch it with somebody?
I
Do
could,
what?
The
well,
parking
I
lot?
think LB's point was to just forget it altogether. But, yeah. I'm going to ask her. Anyway. Yeah. Okay.
What?
I'll
Really?
I'll entertain a motion to adjourn this meeting.
Because I have a sign down there at the end. Make a mo- what is it? Well, I'd like to make a motion, we adjourn.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All right, all in favor? Whoop.
All right.
Done.
Yes.
Thank you all very much.
See them.
Thank you for coming. Don't leave. Dave, thanks. We're done.
He's a mess.
They're in the closet.